homeless. I work a full-time job, 40 hours, and get paid to live here. How the f are y'all gonna bring somebody else here?
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the Melnia Cass Recreation Center in the black neighborhood of Roxbury, Boston, Massachusetts, being taken over, commandeered, whatever you want to call it, for migrants and not the people who live there. So, black folks, your rec center in your black community, named after, by the way, this woman right here, Miss Melnia Cass, may she rest in peace, a civil rights icon, known as the First Lady of Roxbury, on, out of all places in the world, right there on MLK Drive. That particular place is no longer yours. It now belongs to the migrants. And this is what I'm talking about. Before we get to a news clip, before we get to that clip from the man in the beginning a little bit more, this is what I'm talking about. You are being replaced. It's obvious. And if it wasn't obvious before, things like this, when they happen, has got to make it obvious. And at a certain point, people say, well, look, man, the right thing to do is to not say that they voted for it because this is an opportunity to get the black community on board. Listen, when I was on the left as a black person, I had to hear harsh truths in order to make it click in my head. Hey, man, this is what you voted for. This is what you wanted. Here you go. So if you don't want that, then vote differently. I had to have that. So I'm going to say this. The reason why it's happening to you right now is because of who you voted for. I saw Ayanna Pressley, the Democratic House rep from that particular neck of the woods, talking about, oh, well, they're closing the Walgreens and it's racist. And some may think that she's fighting for the black community. But one thing she said during her whole little spiel about the Walgreens closing is that, oh, this neighborhood is of color. It's for people of color, when in reality it's a black neighborhood and it's been a black neighborhood for a very long time. So the question I have for you guys who voted for Ayanna Pressley in Boston, Massachusetts is, do you think she's going to be so passionate and gung-ho about being against what's happening with the rec center as she was about the Walgreens closing? I don't think so, because of the migrants. She's not going to say too much about that. That's okay for her, but the Walgreens, that might be an issue. You see what I'm saying? You get what you vote for. And if you don't want this kind of thing to continue, then you got to vote differently. Now, we're going to check out a news clip right here. This is a pretty interesting news clip because the attitude on the ground toward what's happening with the rec center is much different than what they portray in the clip. And if you want to see this clip in full or any other clips, links will be in the description box. If you're on IG, visit a link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Look at a community center in Roxbury that's now been transformed into an emergency shelter for migrant families that have been sleeping at the airport. Hundreds of beds now cover the indoor track and soccer fields where neighborhood children usually play. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Wade.
And I'm Lisa Hughes. Dozens of families are set to move into the shelter.
ABL, the black kids need to have rec centers so they can stay off the streets and not get involved in gang violence and thugging and drugging and things of this nature. Oh, but the migrants need it, so never mind.
Any moment now. WBZ's Beth Germano is in Roxbury tonight, where the community is torn over this plan.
Torn? See, I don't think so. There's like a whole big protest over the issue. I don't think anybody in the community, people that actually live there, are for what's happening right here.
It's been a quick conversion for the Melnia Cass Recreational Center in Roxbury. Beds and sleeping bags, play spaces, bathrooms and other necessities, all to help migrant families arriving in large numbers in the state.
It's going to house up to 400 individuals right now.
Governor Healy began discussing the idea a week ago. Moved by the recent plight of families, many now camping out at Logan Airport, and a state shelter system stretched to the limit.
We're here today because we really don't have a choice.
And none of us should stand by while women, children, and families sleep outside or in an airport who look like us.
Again, this is what you voted for. This is what you voted for right here. These are your representatives who decide things for you in this particular area of Massachusetts. Oh, and before I continue, Notice how they're doing it to you, black man, black woman. Remember Martha's Vineyard? That's not too far away from here. That's a hop, skip, and a jump from Boston. When the migrants got sent to Martha's Vineyard, they were deported within 48 hours. Got them out of there. But the very same people who did that, who deported them from Martha's Vineyard within 48 hours, will have no problem sending them to your neighborhood and having them replace you permanently.
Shame on Healy! Shame on World!
But the plan has received mixed reviews in the community, since the recreation center is also a vital resource for youth and adult programs.
We sympathize with them. We as a people in our community, we love. But sometimes we love so much that we spite our own selves.
Alternating toe touches.
Tony DeRoca, with Boston United Track and Cross Country, coaches young athletes in a free weekly program here, and now doesn't know where they'll go with a meet set for Sunday.
We have kids who also are impacted negatively, and our program is one that very few stable times of their life.
I've been going here for like 2 years now, and like it's been like a second home to me.
But the decision to make it a temporary home until May 31st for migrant families is called humanitarian, but also difficult by some. And Boston Mayor Michelle Wu acknowledged that today.
This is not the first time that this community has been asked to sacrifice over and over again. And so we'll continue to work with the state and ensure that all options are on the table.
That's your elected officials right there. Hey, man, sorry, we got to take it over. Martha's Vineyard, man, they do whatever they want to do, deport them in 48 hours. But you guys, hey, man, please sacrifice your neighborhood yet again for us, for the migrants, not for you guys. It won't help you at all, but for the migrants, it'll do a bang-up job.
The governor is pledging that all programs here will find a temporary home. In the meantime, 75 migrants are expected to arrive at some point today, with more over the next couple of days. In Roxbury, I'm Beth Germano.
So there we have it. You're a neighborhood rec center being taken over. Now let's get back to my man. This man was at this same rec center. I did my research. Yes, it is the same rec center in Roxbury, the Melnia Cass Recreation Center. And I'm not really sure what he needed there. They said they have adult and youth programs at the center. He was not able to get in. He was being blocked by officers because they've commandeered this for the migrants, and he's not a migrant. So unfortunately, he is out in the cold. Let's check it out.
Paycheck don't equal to live here. And I've been here my whole because I can yell. Because I can yell. Because I can yell. And I'm fucking angry. That's why.
I hear you. I do hear you.
So why can't I get in the fucking building?
Because you can't get in right now. No one can go in.
Why? Where's the mayor at? Y'all, these fucking towns are fucking sham, yo. It's all about fucking money. It's a fucking money grab. Y'all give a fuck about the motherfuckers that was born and fucking raised here. Y'all raised the fucking rate so fucking high. Can't afford to live here, but y'all gonna bring some other motherfuckers here? That doesn't fucking add up. It doesn't make no sense.
It doesn't.
None. I'm fucking homeless. I work a full-time job, 40 hours.
Homeless, working a full-time job, 40 hours. I 100% believe him. There's a lot of that going on. People that work, I mean, they may not be a really high-paid job, but they work, and they can't afford to actually have a place to live, okay? And he's doing the best he can under his circumstances, and they're cutting off resources that were usually available to him for those who are not even here legally, who are just bogarting their way into the country.
And can't pay to live here. How the fuck are y'all gonna bring somebody else here? Don't make no fucking sense. None.
So there we have it. That's what's going on out there in Boston, Massachusetts, in the black neighborhood, Roxbury. Your rec center, your neighborhood, your resources being taken and given to the migrants. Not for you. You're going to be replaced. This is what I've been saying. And it's not just in Boston. It is all over the country. That is a plan. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on what's happening here in Roxbury, Boston, Massachusetts? Is it a replacement? Is it just It's the way things are. Not really a big deal. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I called it, and this is what you voted for at a certain point, and you gotta do different. You gotta think differently. You gotta behave differently. You can't have a bleeding heart. You can't be talking about, oh, they're racist. I mean, racism, I think at a certain point, we got to get beyond that. We got to get beyond the feelings and things of this nature and stuff that's like myths, not even true. Let's look at what's actually happening on the ground. Okay. Where is it best for you to live? Red state, blue state, red city, blue city. Like, think about it like that. All the other stuff that you've been taught, brainwashed, mainstream media, television, movies, music, don't let that get into your mind. Look at the reality of what's happening on the ground and make your mind up that way. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.